Good evening, everybody. Happy Saturday to each and every one of you, and welcome to another edition of McAgee3 Meetup. It's your man McAgee3, the July edition of McAgee3 Meetup. I am joined by my guest today. He is to say that he's really good at Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is an understatement. Okay, give me a second. Controller's getting set up. To say he's really good in the game is an understatement. The man just bleeds Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. My guest for today is EMP Obama. He's all about that Marvel all the time, every time. How you doing, brother? All right, give me 1 second. Looks like. All right, so try that again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, what's good, man? You flatter me still, by the way. Thank you so much.
No problem. Let's see here. So, not seeing. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Okay, so some small. Actually, you know what? For the first time with the McAgee3 Meetup, I don't think we need the game audio. I don't think we do.
You don't have to if you don't want to. That's fine.
Right, because once again, this is with McAgee3 Meetup. We're talking with content creators that we want to get to know them better, who are consistent with the content that they create. And I reached out to EMP Obama, who we're speaking to right now. Little fun story, little fun snippet before we get started. I actually met him when I got involved with THG about 3 years ago.
A higher group, yeah.
Yeah, and he even back then, it's basically been Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or bust, essentially. I met him through there. We actually became pretty decent friends, I'd like to say, right?
I miss you. I miss hanging out with you and do events and everything. I wish, I could see you more often, actually.
Well, gee, well, thank you. I actually wasn't expecting that. Well, I appreciate that. But all right, so basically, we're gonna be playing his namesake game. Spoiler alert: there might be a number of perfects that occur, and I'm not going to be the one getting them, but.
I don't know. I'm not very good at this game anyway. So
yeah, I've heard that one before.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so we've got a few firsts going on with what we're doing right now. One of the key firsts is we're actually utilizing a program called Parsec. EMP Obama, since you're more experienced with this program, can you kind of give us a little bit of insight on what Parsec actually is?
Yeah, so essentially, Parsec is essentially a computer sharing program where you screen share with another person's computer. So, for example, if both players have Parsec, you can actually share your computer screen with another person, and you can play games as if you were playing locally. Now, on top of that, as you can see now, this is not my actual desktop here. Like, if you see right here, this is not my actual desktop. What we're using is a cloud computer. So the cloud computer is what you have to make via either Amazon or Google Cloud or what have you. This is a Google Cloud. And it acts as a third-party computer, so that has gigabit internet, so it hosts better. That way, we don't have host advantage stuff like that. Right. So essentially, you're computer sharing with somebody, kind of how sometimes you have a technical problem on your computer, and you call technical support, and they're able to do stuff remotely on their end. That's kind of what this is.
Okay, I kind of figured as much because once you actually helped me get set up, and we actually did test this earlier this past week. I realized because I actually have a friend who's very computer savvy and actually helped my folks with a computer issue and use something similar to this. So
exactly, yeah. You can even use it for that if you want.
Right.
You can do things like give people permission to use your computer programs and what have you. See whatever programs, individual programs, etc. You can do multiple stuff with Parsec. You can use this for not just for fighting games. Although this is very good for fighting games with not so stellar netcode, like delayed bits netcode.
Right.
You can use it for like party games, like Mario Party is very good for that sort of thing, and what have you, anything.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get this first match going.
Let's get
Uh,
started. Yeah.
yeah. I was meaning to practice before we got into this. However, that didn't quite happen. So we're just gonna have to piece this together somehow. So like I said, there's a couple of firsts as well, because one, we're using Parsec. Two, this is our first time having MAHVEL3 on the channel, and three, EMP Obama is actually using what's called a hitbox, and he actually told me off camera that like him talking and playing isn't really his strongest suit. So don't worry, I'm more than likely dead here, because as you can see, I'm woohoo! Oh boy! All right, let's see here. Oh yeah, my foot.
Ooh, let's go.
That was my foot. That was my foot. That was my foot.
Yeah.
And like I said, perfect. So yeah, real quick, Obama, can you explain the hitbox?
The hitbox. Okay, so it basically like a hitbox. What it is, it's just a stick, but instead of an analog control stick, like the actual like fight stick, it's replaced with buttons. So there are like 4 buttons. The jump button is actually a bigger button on the bottom, and the way it's designed is so that you can like use that to kind of do easier inputs with, like, let's say jump cancels or like tiger knees or like stuff like that. Like you can jump and like do stuff like on the first frame, and you won't get like, because like on a stick, for example, when you do like a motion, it's not always gonna be 100% accurate. Like let's say like you were trying to do like a fireball or something, right? But then you get a DP instead, or you try to get the DP, but the or a dragon punch,
right.
For those who don't know. But you have to get the down forward input. But
right.
sometimes you don't always get that precise down forward input,
right.
especially in some games, right? That have like different input leniency. So this is to alleviate that. This is so it makes everything like 100% accurate, and it reduces the amount of input error that you would have.
Okay. Yeah, because I've actually heard that, like, I know a lot of people were very, let's see if I can actually. Okay, I'm back. Oh, I did get my assist out. Yay. Hey. Okay. So yeah, I heard that a lot of people were actually questioning the legality of using like hitbox during like tournaments and stuff, because there's a lot of inputs that you get to do off of hitbox that you can't really just do on like a controller or even an arcade stick.
Well, the thing about the hitbox is that like first of all, like the ones that are legal, right? I mean,
right.
they're all legal. They're all legal 100% because they have like an SODC cleaner that makes it so that, for example, like you don't get like block on both sides with like when he'll hold both directional buttons. Like you won't get that because they designed it that way on purpose, so it's not like cheating. And also, whatever macros you would get, it would be like in-game macros. So you unless you program the stick or like any kind of control peripheral to like do some kind of like a macro that isn't intended in the game, that would be grounds for like not being legal. But hitbox is completely 100% legal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because like anything you would do on a hitbox, like you technically should be able to do on like any controller, like a pad or a stick, whatever, It makes it a little easier. But it's still on your own is to execute it. Like, I used to be an Xbox pad player. I don't know if you remember, right? Because I used to be on the Xbox pad for this game.
Right.
But, I recently switched because, well, first of all, my pads keep breaking on me every year. It would just, every year or two or year and a half, it would just give out. Eventually, it just gives out. When you play for a very long time competitively, like with a game like this with like a lot of inputs, it'll just give out at some point. and I was getting sick and tired of buying them over and over again and trying to fix it. So I made the switch to hitbox, and I'm not gonna lie to you, that first year is rough. It's definitely hell. Like, especially if you're on if you were used to another controller peripheral, switching from that to hitbox, it takes a lot of time. Anybody who's interested in it, I'm warning you right now, it will take a lot of time, and harder things will be easier to do. But the easy stuff that you were able to do before, like simple motions, might take some practice actually, and you're gonna probably lose a lot. But eventually it'll just click. It will click for you. I went on this hitbox for like a year and a half, and I really I really wanted to switch back because I thought I was gonna die on this thing. It was awful, but I stuck with it. I went cold turkey, and you have to go cold turkey. Don't pussyfoot around and just play on controller in one game and then hitbox another or something like that. You have to make the switch fully, and eventually it'll become second nature to you. And then now it's been like almost 2 years, and I have not looked back after that.
Nice. So let me see. So with the hitbox, the example I was gonna bring up was the whole thing about like Guile, for example. He could move around and still charge a sonic boom or something, right?
Right. But did you know that you were able to do the same thing on a DualShock pad?
Really?
Yeah, a lot of there's a common trend for a lot of hitbox players where they used to be pad players, because a hitbox is essentially like what I would equate to like a giant pad, because of the directional inputs. Like a lot of like pad players, they would use like the D-pad, like if you're playing on DualShock 4, for example. And you would get you should be able to get like the same kind of thing you would on a D-pad, but just a little bit easier. Which is the purpose of the hitbox.
Right. Okay, I see. So,
let me see if I can get the start break. No, I missed it.
It's all right. I screwed it up.
Yes, let's go.
So while he's basically killing me, little fun fact: if you play a lot of Dragon Ball Fighters and then you try to play this when you haven't played this in a very long time, it doesn't go very well for you, because you start doing things that you do in Fighters that you cannot do here. Oh boy!
This game you have to actually move.
Right.
Really move. Yeah.
Right, and if you want like certain aerial movements, you actually need to have the character that actually has it. Because one of the issues I kept running into when I played you before was that I kept trying to reflect, which I know is not in the game. 2, I kept trying to like double jump with characters that don't have double jumps. Tried to air dash for characters that don't have air dash. And just like, I don't have these things.
Yeah, like this game has like different kind of defensive mechanics that aren't like similar or present from like Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Or most anime fighters for that matter, right? Because usually
it's like a typical anime fighter. Like people don't really call it that, but it's got the same beast to it.
Right.
There's a lot of mechanics in this game that aren't. It's not really like what I like about this game in particular, right? The mechanics in this game are pretty simple. Like if you really like break it down, but like they're not really like spelled out for you. Like a lot of games nowadays, they'll tell you, "Oh, you do this to do a reflect," or "Oh, you do this in this situation all the time."
Right.
This game, there's very basic like mechanics like push blocking, and even like X Factor cancels that you don't always have to do at the same times that you would normally like see other people do. Like you don't always have to like push block in certain scenarios. Sometimes you could you don't want to because like they'll scope it out, or sometimes you'll delay it. There's a lot of nuance to like just very simple mechanics in this game, and it's not like written out for you. It's something that people just figure it out over time, and that's what I like about games like this.
Yeah, because back when I did play it and I was a little more confident of what to do, like it didn't feel as foreign as it does now in terms of like knowing that your characters, what they do, what their strengths and their weaknesses are, and how things were set up in terms of how the game was built. And interestingly enough, another thing, and this is why in terms of the Marvel franchise, this is why I kind of prefer this over Marvel 2, because it's like the issue I always had with Marvel 2 was that you always had these obsolete characters, and it's like, what are you supposed to do with these obsolete characters? Like, you can't do anything. So it's just like,
Yeah, so that's that's kind of like think about Marvel 2, like older like fighting games, like you like like there's a lot of like broken stuff to them, and there's a lot of like like kind of like archaic stuff to their design, right? And then like we still find it fun, and like you also gotta kind of cut us some slack. Like nobody like ever like rags on like Super Turbo, for example, right? Because it's just like oh, that game's broken, but it's still fun, right? A lot of like now like fighting games have gone to the point where we kind of like understand like design nuances and like balancing and like what might be a little too strong and like what might be kind of like not intended for the game. This game certainly has stuff like that too, but it's a lot better than like say Marvel 2, for example, where like as you were saying, a lot of characters are obsolete to the point where like they have to have low tier tournaments for them. And for me personally, like I love Marvel 2. Like Marvel 2 like helped me actually get into Marvel in the first place. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be here actually if it weren't for Marvel 2 and how like I like the game so much. And I'm actually like interested in like trying to play that competitively too. But it would be a game where like I know like what the kind of rules are for the game essentially, right? I know like what's good, what's bad, what's not really worth my time. And that's a lot of like characters in the game. This game allows you to kind of play around with that, even though there's established teams, but it's nowhere near as I guess egregious as Marvel 2. Marvel 2 kind of like if you see like low tier tournaments, the reason why I don't particularly enjoy watching those or participating in those is because it kind of shows like it just kind of lets you know like how poorly designed the game actually is, like, but we still love it, right? Because the real game, the real meta game, right, is within the small pool of characters and what you can do with that, and that is where the fun of the game comes from. Same thing with this game too. There's still low tier characters that can play. Anybody can really like make a team with anybody in this game. But there might be some stipulations like. Yeah, for example, I want to play like a team with, let's say like Ryu or something, right? Like it's just like okay, sure, but you should probably try to find what works best with the character. Even my character, Frank West, he's good when he gets leveled up, but what's the easiest way to get him leveled up? And so I try to play a team or a style that kind of goes with those quote unquote rules, It makes the game more fun for me personally because I'm playing the character to its optimum.
Yeah, because I actually remember when you were actually practicing that at NEC 18 was when I first met you. Like you were literally just in the main lobby of the hotel trying to learn how to optimize, what you're basically doing right now. And like you were just putting so much daggone time into it. And then of course, the next time I see you, it's like this stuff is just clockwork now.
Yeah, it just takes a lot of there's a lot of like I like to think of it as a science, right? Like where like you're working on any kind of fighting game, right? Any kind of character or like fighting game, or a team. If you're really into it like that, right? You would want to like try to find out like what's the best route, what's the best way for you to play your character, whatever situations I would get. Like for example, like what happens if I get that? What if I get like a throw or like any kind of stray hit? What would be my situation there, right? And then it comes after that. You kind of come take it to like a casual play, where like, you just kind of try different stuff. See what works out, see what doesn't work.
Right. Yeah, because these are the exact combos that. Oh my gosh.
Also, it helps that I've had like I did start playing Marvel 3 like a week after it got released in vanilla, from all the way from 2011. So
back when you could only do your X Factor when you're standing.
Man, like I remember like back in the day, like the biggest combo for me was doing like ABC combos with Wesker, like call and assist, like pick up off of that X Factor, and then level 3. That was my biggest combo.
Okay.
Now here I am doing lightning loops now.
Right.
Oh,
Somehow, somehow I'm still alive.
Yeah, see, like, like, I messed up there because I didn't get the right timing on the snapshot. So see, that happens sometimes.
Right.
Ooh, let me see if I can do this. Yeah, there we go. See, that's another thing I laughed out.
Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Still getting hit. Oof, oof, oof.
See, right there, I thought I was going to, like, drop the combo because I was kind of going deep in. So I improvised and, like, did something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
vey.
Those are the kind of things that you should learn just from playing. Trial and error.
Let's see here.
Ooh.
Doesn't matter. Couldn't. Oh my gosh. Like I said, I really meant to practice first. Nope. Okay. So let's see. Well, Firebrand's dead. Let me go grab my. Let me go grab my list of questions. Like I said, I'm gonna do. I know I had the means to do something there, but nah. All right. So, even Peanut Butter, we've literally just been gushing like crazy about Marvel and whatnot. So real quick, tell us a little bit about yourself.
About myself, what exactly do you want to know specifically?
Whatever you're willing to share.
Well, myself, yeah, like I said, I've been playing fighting games for like 10 years now. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about it being 10 years. But yeah, like this is the game that I took like seriously, like the very first game I took seriously, and but like it wasn't my very first fighting game. Yeah, because like back in the day, like when I was a kid, I had a Super Nintendo, and growing up, there was always Street Fighter 2 in the house. You know, like a lot of people in the community, like they grew up with arcades. I was just kind of coming up in the tail end of the arcade era,
right?
Where like they were starting to like unfortunately phase out.
Right.
I do remember playing in arcades a little bit, like just like random like mall arcades, like a timeout or something like that.
Right.
And they would have like games like Marvel 2, maybe Marvel 1. Like I used to play a lot of beat-em-ups too. Like I still do. I love beat-em-ups. Like Turtles in Time and Simpsons Arcade.
Right.
Every time I see like a Simpsons Arcade, I have to play it through one time. But yeah, like I remember when my family would go to trips to Atlantic City or like Ocean City or something, right? For like vacations, there was on the board, like there would always be like an arcade. I remember very vividly there was always be an arcade where like one of the games was actually Marvel 2, and I would always like be excited to go to that boardwalk just so I could get a chance to play that cab again. Because at the time there was no real way for me to like get the game. And like I had a PS2, but I never found a PS2 copy. Later on in life, I would find out that copy's not very good anyway. But yeah, like it wasn't until like like the PSN and Xbox Live version came out that I would have Marvel 2 in my own house to just mess around with. And but in my house we would always have like Street Fighter 2 and then Street Fighter 4. Like I played Street Fighter 4, but like I wasn't like super like competitive in it. Afterwards, like after Marvel 3 came out, right? I tried to be competitive in it, but at the end of the day, I just kind of devoted my time more to Marvel 3. I kind of knew I was gonna like spend more time on that.
Right.
But I did love watching Street Fighter 4 back when like it was like super competitive, and I played Street Fighter 4 with my family a lot, and my goal basically was to like just be the best of my family. That was my entire goal at that time. Just that was a starting point. And games like that, and like playing Melee with my best friend, like when we were like, we're not good at that game, by the way. Like we just kind of like play to play, right? But I still had my competitive edge to the point where like I would go buy the actual like guidebook for the game and learn like real tips and tricks, and just body my friend the next day with it. Yeah, so I did get my competitive edge, like my love of like Marvel vs. Capcom the series, like from way back when I was a kid still. Even though I didn't grow up in that like arcade era, it was a little too late for me at this point.
Right.
Yeah, that's my start in like fighting games. I didn't really play much competitive like stuff like before. I think at one point I wanted to try to get into like I wanted to be like those like YouTubers who would just like post like like kills on Call of Duty, like epic Leo snipe montage and stuff like that.
Right.
I kind of thought about doing that, but once I got into fighting games, I kind of like gravitated more to that.
Right. Yeah, because like, I mean, shooters are all well and good, but there's more. Me personally, I feel like there's more things that are visually interesting in a fighting game than in a shooter. Seeing as how it's just a perspective. Like, I mean, I've seen some pretty interesting looking kills in shooters, from the few of them that I've actually watched. But more often than not, it's like, I would much rather just watch a combo video of somebody playing a fighting game of some sort. Like I'll watch those.
What really helps for me is like just the characters that are involved. Like I think the characters are so cool, right? Like when I was playing Marvel 2 when I was a kid, I really thought Captain Commando was the sickest shit ever, right?
Right.
He's bad, but
right.
His commando assist would be like his saving grace.
Mm.
But I thought his design, the colors, and the colors and sounds of fighting games really just capture me.
Right.
And also on a competitive aspect, I like that I only have to depend on myself.
Right. Yeah, because most shooters outside of when you do every man for himself are usually squad based matches, and especially and then the other thing in terms of shooters, since we're on the topic of shooters. Me personally, I think the last shooter I really played, I would say remotely regularly, because I never really actually owned the game, and and I don't count Resident Evil 6, Resident Evil not 6, Resident Evil 7 and RE8. I don't count those, because that's to me that's a completely different approach for the first person shooter genre. But the last multiplayer first-person shooter that I played and sort of enjoyed was Halo 2, and
Halo 2 was a goat.
Yeah, that was the last one I enjoyed, and it was just, I got so accustomed to how it played in terms of if you have a shotgun, you shoot them once, then you melee them and they die, and that sort of stuff. So we fast forward a good number of years. And we get to Apex Legends, and that one, it's more I think the headshots the headshots don't even work the same way either. It's that one is more stat based in terms of your weapons that you're using. And for me, that it just was not working for me, man. It was I don't like the idea of me shooting somebody in the daggone face. It only does a fraction of their health, and then they just mow me down and I'm dead. Come on.
It feels kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
It feels very disingenuous. Man, I really shot that guy in the face.
Right, I shot him in the face. He should not be alive here, but he is alive. And funnily enough, as we're quote playing this game right now, even Marvel 3 has some things where I just kind of raise an eyebrow to, but I'm more willing to deal with that than to deal with the shooting game stuff, because at least in fighting games it's I can at least point out or address where I went wrong and be able to say that I could have done something to stop that from happening, whatever the case. Whereas with first person shooters, it's a lot of times it's just you spawn and someone's camping the spawn point and they just shoot you in the face and you're dead, and it's just wasn't much I could do. Not much I could do about that.
Yeah, as I said before, right? I like the aspect of you're the one in control. You're the one that's you only have yourself to blame if you lose in the fighting game, right? I like there's a personal journey to it. It feels more personal. It doesn't feel as impartial as a shooting game. I mean, I did the last shooting game that I really liked, that I was really into at the time. When it first came out was Overwatch. I was really into that game the very first year, and I was oh man, this game is so much fun. I would come home from our locals, right, the cave,
right,
and my Tuesdays were just I would play fighting games all night, and then I would like go back home and play Overwatch till the morning. Those were my Tuesdays basically.
Nice.
Yeah. Eventually, like, you know, I kind of got burned out in the game, and I didn't want to play with random people and stuff. It's better for me to play with random people in like a fighting game than it is for like a shooting game.
Right. Yeah, because it's like, and then I don't know, like, maybe I'm just completely wrong, but sometimes it just feels like, in terms of like the community side of like when you're playing fighting games, that it's not as toxic. Nah, I'm probably still wrong about that, but I'm more willing to make that kind of a statement. Only
it's a matter of perspective, yeah, for sure. It depends on the company you keep to.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. I am getting absolutely ransacked. So quick thought process. The reason why I switched out Felicia for Firebrand isn't necessarily that I'm better with Firebrand, but it's more so just I'm trying a character that has a little bit more options in the air. And that's kind of what I was trying to do. Now, once again, it would have helped had I gone to the lab and labbed some stuff, so that way I can at least, you know, complete some of these hit confirms that I've been landing. But that's neither here nor there. This is where we're at. Let's see here. While I'm getting caught in the lightning loops, let me see here. So tell us, once Firebrand dies, why content creation, my guy?
Well, let's see. A lot of it is actually like for selfish reasons, like, you know, like a lot of times, like when you're playing fighting games and you want to like take it seriously, the best way to learn is to kind of record your own matches, right? Record your own matches and look them over and everything. But I also wanted to provide like just regular content for people to just enjoy and watch if they want to watch like Marvel matches and learn from that too. Because like a lot of like games, like you can learn just by watching other people.
Right.
Like I know like a lot of like for like anime style games, like a lot of channels have like channels specifically dedicated to like, you know, certain games.
Right.
If you look it up, actually, like, you know, there's actually like channels for like KOF, Melty Blood, Under Night, stuff like that. Like, you know, Dragon Ball, like, you know, people who like, you know, want to like, you know, just record matches and like, you know, post it up. There's a lot of people who like host lobbies and stuff. That I didn't do until like, a little later. But mainly like I started like recording and posting online because I figured that I should be helping with that content creation. You know, I should be doing my part essentially. Right. There was a point, I think like in 2016, I started like uploading more frequently because, again, like, you know, I wanted matches for myself, but I also was starting to hear murmurs that like, you know, there's a new Marvel game on the horizon coming out in the next year, and that year 2017 was coming up, and there was a bit of uncertainty in the Marvel community on like whether or not like Marvel 3 would be at EVO, like main stage gate at EVO that year. And I got a tip from somebody in our community, right?
Right.
And they had some insider tips saying that that would in fact be the last year for you know, the main game. And I remember like I got the news and I kind of felt like you know, a part of my life was like ending, so to speak, right? And like I felt like, you know, like this game that I like playing for so long, and like the game that I met so many people in, now all of a sudden like people are gonna like I had this fear that people were gonna start leaving, you know?
Right.
And people did, and they didn't help. There was a new Marvel game too, and it kind of split the community, but that's a different topic.
Right.
And I thought to myself, this can't be. This cannot be the way it all ends.
Right.
So I started like really like pushing out content, like, you know, more and more and more, just to show people that hey, there's still people out here playing this game.
Right.
And there's still people out here who want to play. And it became like a signal boost for other players who might want to come to our locals and stuff. I actually had people like, you know, find our locals through my videos. And eventually it got to the point where like I now it lets me creating the Marvel 3 Discord,
Right.
and then like you're running tournaments for the game. Now I run tournaments and lobbies like every week for it now. So like it became a, I had like a self-imposed like a sense of responsibility on myself too.
Right.
You know, if you love a game, you want to push for it. You know.
Yeah, that is true. And like you have been like, you've been running like big tournaments. You've been doing like beginners tournaments and stuff, so people can actually get an opportunity to like figure the game out. Well, I was blocking. And like you also, and like you stream it, you know, and it's truly a testament that you really love the community for this game that you love so much. And of course, obviously based on your performance, like you're also, oh god, I don't know what to do. And we get crossed up. Yeah, like you're very committed to, whoops, that was bad. You're committed to making sure that people play and people can, you know, show that people can come in and play, and it's not just, you know, a bunch of Smurfs just mowing people down.
There's a saying that like, you know, like I hear a lot, or I've heard like in the past, that really kind of like, you know, rings true, and it's kind of like kept me going. And that is you need to be the change that you want to see. And right. I felt like, you know, I had to like take it upon myself to do all this stuff, because if I wasn't going to, then I can't really count on anybody else to do it for me.
Right.
Like, yeah, you said I love the community and everything, and like I do. There's a lot of times where I feel like, you know, and it's not just with like this game or like with fighting games in general, but I feel like, you know, to me, if I don't do something that nobody else will, because I feel like, you know, people are like, you know, they're not motivated enough, or they're straight up lazy, you know. And it makes me feel like, well, I can't really rely on anyone else to do the work for me.
Right.
So I might as well take it upon myself to do that work. And, you know, and now that I have, people have started to flock over and like and enter the Discord, you know, enter my tournaments and everything. It's still growing. Like, still growing every day, but very slowly but surely. But, you know, over a gradual amount of time, it got like a lot bigger. And now it's become like, if you look up Marvel UMBC3 Discord, is the first thing that pops up on Google. So
nice.
I'm happy that people are able to find it very easily.
Once again, I land an attack and I don't follow up. Come here. Ow. Sucks. It's all good. Oh my gosh, yo, you're under 50-50 is just, ugh. Oh boy. Like for those out there that are wondering, yo, why do you keep getting hit when you're coming in? Basically what he's doing, and I'm able to actually explain this because it's my testament of actually playing fighting games more often and being a little bit more cognizant of what's going on. Basically he's basically dashing under me numerous times to make me have to guess which way I need to block. He's also calling in assists that do an attack that will attack on one side, and then he'll switch to the other side and screw up my block. And it's like, I have to figure out which side I have to block. And so it's because like a lot of contemporary fighting games these days, when your character dies, like in a team-based game, character dies, or you're just, you know, you get caught in a really big combo in the corner, the game has some sort of mechanic in it where it forces both players to go to neutral. So to avoid essentially what EMP Obama is doing to me right now. And it's like, and it's I feel like that's for like, you know, to be a little bit more for like the casual base. But I will admit it does kind of take away from like the challenge of playing fighting games. It's like, yo, you have to figure out how to get away from this situation, or, you know, what's happening to Firebrand is going to happen, and you're just like getting beat up.
Well, like a lot of it is also come to is on a matter of perspective, right?
Right.
So like yeah, there are options in other like team-based fighters, for example, that you could do like I said, like in Dragon Ball FighterZ, like there's push blocking, but there is like at least like reflect, and there are options like split reflect. You know, this game like you get like push blocking and up backing, and if you like if you lose a character in this game, you don't lose a whole team yet because you still have like 2 other characters. So essentially, like if I kill Hulk right now, like you still have 2 more chances essentially, but you just gotta block. It's just kind of like how in like a 2D fighting game, right? Like a 1v1 fighting game.
Right.
If you get knocked down, things lacked up for me. But like if you got you get knocked down, right?
I had to use my lag switch there. I'm sorry.
You're good. I understand. It's 0 anyway. But like if you get knocked down, right? You lose a big chunk of your health, and they can like you can wake up into another mix-up. So they might have to hit you 2, maybe 3, like 3 more times, right? In this game, it's essentially the same thing. Where like if you lose a character, I mean you still have like 2 chances left coming in. You just gotta like block or like have some kind of defensive option ready.
Right. Boop boop boop. No, not my lag switch.
Aha! Lag switch, you can't save me now. Haha.
Yes, I'm gonna lag switch you while we're on Parsec. Yep, that's what's gonna happen. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. Let's keep this ball rolling. As soon as I get my notes here. Okay, so you actually covered a lot of the stuff that I was actually going to ask you. So all right, so you talked about how your love of the game, you started doing Twitch and content creation for the game because you didn't want the player base to wane essentially. So tell me, how tough was it to grow your channel?
I mean, like at the moment, it's still growing. Like I'm not like super big or anything like that. Like I still have like there's still other Marvel players who like have more like views and more like people coming in than me, right?
Right.
Like the viewing the channel, the growing the channel was like it was like a secondary thing at first, right? I mean, it still kind of is. But if I want to grow the channel, I want to do it in the name of like getting people into Marvel. That's the ultimate goal.
Right.
But like that, the whole like growing the channel thing was just kind of came naturally, just from me, just simply kind of like keeping up with it, just like kind of like always streaming. Like even if you have like 2 viewers or 200 viewers, right? You just always stream, right?
Right.
And then you like record that match, and then you put it up online on YouTube for everyone to see. A lot of people like to say like YouTube helps, and I do agree. I think like having YouTube as like a base for like the content, it kind of is like a summary of like what your content is on Twitch, right? So I think it actually does help to have that. Last year I actually did try to do like more variety streaming too, and sometimes I like to do that, right? But there's a lot.
Because I saw the Simpsons wrestling thing that you were trying to do.
Oh, that was more of a April Fool's thing. That was more of a gag thing. But yeah, I do want to do more of that kind of stuff. It's just like a matter of time and like scheduling, because like the Marvel content creation is the main focus, and that's another thing to keep in mind. See, I'm mostly known for the Marvel stuff, and people kind of don't give a shit about like the variety stuff. It's just how it is. Like I'll even like. It's also like a matter of like I don't want to sound bitter to like people like watching me and stuff, right? But I mean, sometimes I'll even ask them directly, like, hey, do you care for watching this kind of content? Like if I stream like an anime game or something,
right?
Or would you like to see me play like this variety game? And people will tell you, yeah, sure, we would like doing that, and then nobody really paid attention. So it's like, okay, so like you can't really like count on like that kind of feedback all the time,
Right,
like,
right.
So you just kind of have to like realize what your niche is and kind of expand on that. And the niche for me is definitely the Marvel stuff. Like people like have been subscribing for that and like coming in like specifically for Marvel. So like it does help to have like if you want to grow your channel, it does help to have like a niche that you have. Like for example, like your favorite game or something.
Right.
If you want to like last year I actually started watching a lot of competitive Tetris, and I started like getting into that, for example. So if you want to build a channel on that, you can do that. You can say like, hey, I want to do competitive Tetris. I'm gonna stream myself practicing all the time. I'm gonna go out and seek out other players. There's an effort involved. We have to go seek out other players to make that content. That's why you will see me at tournaments all the time recording everything. Nowadays, like over time, like once you start getting more viewers and like your channel will start to go to a different direction, you kind of like tailor the content you actually put out there. So at first I would like record literally every match I would play and upload it. Nowadays it's more like, well, this is a finite set or a tournament match, so let's focus on this content and maybe like shove the other stuff for later. Maybe save that like leftovers for like a clip compilation, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Sticking with your niche. Niche usually gets you exposed to the community. Community kind of helps you from there. I definitely learned that from my time doing content creation. Just stick with a community, and the community will help you. And such. Well, I tried to guard cancel, but no dice.
Ooh.
Well, we missed.
Oh,
I used to be able to hit. I used to be able to hit those. Please hit it this time. Nope.
Yeah, it's a little too far away. Yeah.
Once upon a time, I could. That's been oot.
It does help to have that community too, like like when you have like a Discord or something, or like the community really starts with like just a number of friends that support you, and then those friends like go like share it to other people, and then they meet you through them, and eventually like you get a whole like like community of people that you want to like. I know like some people like maybe a little more introverted than others, maybe they're a little more shy, right? But it's easy for me to say since I'm more extroverted than most people,
right?
But I think like it's a good idea to kind of communicate with your audience and build like when you build a community, just kind of like check up on them and like just be like, hey, what's up? You guys want to play something today? Maybe like have them like help you out with like content creation. When you grow a community, they do help you out a lot.
Frank, I don't appreciate you suplexing me. Oopsie. Well, yeah. Wave dashing, yeah.
Oh, that was plane dashing.
Oh yeah, well of course, because oh boy, jeez, like I'm just glad I was able to get Gamma Quake on you, because it was like, all right, this is probably not.
I tried to throw you through it, but he was a little too far away for that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh well.
Your Buster has more durability than my Fireball. So that's another thing about this game. It also introduces a mechanic that is, I think it started with this iteration of the franchise, where projectiles have durability points. So basically, what that means is certain projectiles actually can't beat other projectiles because they have more durability. So, like, for example, I tried to shoot an anti-air fireball at Zero, but Zero shot his Mega Buster, and the Mega Buster basically went straight through the fireball.
Yeah, had more durability. On the flip side, though, there's other moves and, like, special moves that, like, do cancel out Buster. Supers can do it. Akuma Tatsu can do it, for example.
Well, Akuma's Tatsu is silly. Oh, you're too short. Why you gotta be so short? So painstakingly short. Well, Ghost Rider's dead. No, he's not. He's dead now because I didn't guard my Nikes! Got to guard the Nikes, and I got to confirm hits. Let's see here. So you already mentioned when you realized that Marvel was... You know what? No, I'm gonna ask it anyway. So, at what point did you realize that Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3 was your destiny game?
Where to pinpoint it? Well, the game already came out like full swing, right? With like my favorite characters. So like going back, to like characters in Marvel 2. Like I recognize the characters like from the Marvel side because like I did have comics when I was a kid, although like I was the kid who like just read, not really read it, but like just like look at the pretty pictures and everything. Oh look, it looks so cool, the art, right? But like, I would also like watch a lot of the cartoons like X-Men and Spider-Man and stuff like that. So like the thing about like Marvel, like and I know like there are some people out there like who aren't really into like MCU and stuff like that, right? They don't play Capcom games, so as much as I would like for them to try it out, it does make it harder for you to enjoy the game if you don't know who the characters are, if you don't have that kind of like fondness or legacy with the characters, right?
That connection.
Yeah, there's a connection there that's missing, and I understand that. Like, but like there's a heavy connection between me and like the characters from the Capcom side. Like again, growing with Street Fighter 2 and the Marvel side at the same time, watching like Spider-Man, X-Men, stuff like that. So Marvel 3 was coming out, and I really wanted. Everybody wanted a Marvel 3, right? People were making huge copies and everything, right?
Right.
But I wanted a Marvel 3 because like. Oh man, I'm watching Marvel 2 and I'm watching like competitive footage of the game. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I could get into this. Like I know if they make a 3 or something, right? Like I would definitely like get into it. And I really wanted there to be a third game. And then they started to announce it, and it was around the time I already played through the Devil May Cry series. And I thought to myself, oh man, I really hope they add Dante to the game. And then, sure enough, they did.
Right.
And it only takes a character. It really only takes a character to sell you on something sometimes, right?
Right.
When they showed that trailer, like Deadpool and Dante just fighting each other, like
right. That was crazy.
Man.
That was absolutely crazy.
That was it. I think that got me, right? And so like characters and like the way the game looks, the way it sounds, it smells, like
right.
it just like it really helps to want you to keep playing. And once I found out like, oh, there happened to be a community right in my backyard, I got more people to play with. Now like vanilla in its state was kind of a incomplete game, a very unbalanced game, very like yeah, it was not a very good game. But at the time, I didn't care because like I just wanted to play. I just wanted to keep like trying out different combos and wanted to get better at it. But I don't know if like I can't really say for sure if like the game had stayed the way it was in vanilla that I would have kept playing just because of like how it would end up, right? But thankfully they came out with Ultimate. They came out with this character Frank West, which is another one of my favorite characters.
Right.
And I also got super lucky, by the way. Like, you see the synergy right here, right now, as we're speaking, right? Like, not all characters, like, I know you're playing your characters, I'm sorry to say, but your characters don't work together. Like, that's just like facts.
Right.
But, like, my characters, they do. Like, the fucking Frank and Dante, like, that's really good. And that's, like, works together like peanut butter and jelly. It makes bacon. So, that also kind of held on top of that.
Right.
But even then, I would have still had like other characters to choose from. And eventually, I would start like beating good players in our area that were like known for being good. Because I would just play, like often, and I would play with like like better people. And it got to the point where like people kind of knew me for being that guy who played like Frank West Dante.
Right.
And having that reputation and having like that community to build off of that like motivated me, inspired me to get better every time I picked up the game.
Right.
It became like a severe addiction. Like I remember like people think like like, oh, I'm like addicted to the game right now, but it used to be like a way worse back in like high school.
Right.
Like to the point where it might have affected my grades a bit because like, I would just like stay up all night just like blabbing random stuff, like trying out different teams, just like even characters I wouldn't play, I would just play because like I would see somebody else do it and think to myself, oh, that's so cool, I want to try it, just see what it feels like. The game like really helped like kind of like give me a place to like relax and like to like dish out my creativity. And I think that's why like I stuck with the game for so long, and to this day still. Because like no other game really gives me the feeling that this game has.
Right. Yeah, because you like I said, you've been very, very consistent with this, and like I have to say, like when people get salty about with your squad, I actually do find it to be really funny. I'm just gonna do this and try to piece something together here.
Yeah, it is funny to see their reactions and everything. Like,
Right.
I've had people, like, really good people tell me, like, uh, yo, like, I'll play you in this game, but, like, I don't want to play against Frank Dante because it's so boring. And if I get hit, that's it.
Oof. Okay. Yep. Getting hit feels good. Feels bad. Let's see. So you have a meter left, so I'm probably dead here. Yeah. That into that loops again. Then the feel bads. But yeah, let's see. Oh, okay. So you had mentioned that a character, well, Dante specifically, being popped up, and that's when you knew that this was the game that you wanted to play. This was the game that you were going to put time in. Um, so let me ask you: do you feel that there's some characters that should have been in this game?
Oh, absolutely. Um,
Like what? What's your top three?
Top three. I mean, my boy Captain Commando obviously is one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're going for somebody like new, like that was never in a Marvel game, I don't know. I think like Asura got a little shafted. I don't know. Like I feel like they could have added that character to the game,
Right.
but maybe it's not really Capcom's baby. Maybe like they don't really want to have anything to do with the game. Like if you see like characters that don't really pop up too much, like characters from Dino Crisis and Asura's Wrath,
Yeah.
there's always going to be a cult following for those games, but unfortunately, like it's not always the same for Capcom.
Right.
Sometimes because like they think like maybe like like for example, Dino Crisis is just like like an inferior version to like Resident Evil or something like that.
Right.
Or like a sewer. This is like it was a one and done kind of thing. Gene, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of depends on like what they feel like would like resonate most with people. And I think that's fair. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been nice to have like give some people a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave Spencer a chance.
Right. Right.
But what else? I mean, like let me think of some other characters. There's some like Marvel characters that popped up, like during the time of this game, like newer characters. I think like it would have been cool to see, just as a way to like show new characters. I think oh yeah, like there's some Marvel Infinite characters I would have wanted to see in this game first.
Was it
like
was it Jeddah?
Oh, actually, it was Ultron. I really wanted Ultron, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Like Ultron was like my favorite like character that was actually in Marvel Infinite, and I wish would have been in Marvel 3.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a certain amount of characters you can add to the game though.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think like this game does give like the most variety you can have with the amount of characters.
Yeah, because you got freaking MODOK, and you got like freaking you got a freaking Deadpool.
You got Firebrand over here, right? Like people
right.
like don't know about Firebrand, but they don't understand. Like Demon's Crest is a very underrated series of games.
Yeah.
There are some good characters who are like in this game. I think could have been replaced with somebody else. Like
right.
and it's mostly the characters who honestly have like a kind of a poor design to them.
Mm-hmm.
Shishi Alkensenko being two of them. But I'm cool with the roster. Like I think the roster is actually pretty good.
Oh crud.
And think about rosters, right? If you think about it, having like different characters just means like you have a reason to play like that game, right?
Right.
Like maybe you miss a Street Fighter character, but we can always go back to this specific game with that specific character with these specific mechanics, and I feel like a totally different game. It's not like you're playing like the same character with the same moves,
Oh, there I go, lag switching again.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, because I was also hoping that like X would have made it into this version. Obviously, oh my gosh, I still couldn't get it. That's right, you got an OTG with actual OTG moves. Ugh, I'm so spoiled from freaking fighters. Okay, so boom, got hit by that, and that should be dead. No.
Oh no, I missed it.
It doesn't matter. I panicked. I panicked. Like, yeah, I got it. Oh, wrong button. Also, thank you everybody for joining the stream. This is the July edition of McAgee3 Meetup. I am here with my guest, EMP Obama. We are playing some Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3. We are talking exactly what you think we're talking about, Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3 related things. And getting to know my guest a little bit better. So let's see here. Before I hit rematch.
Hit me up with the more than juicy and hard-hitting questions.
Yes. Even though you touched on it earlier, I'll go ahead and ask this anyway. Is there a goal in mind with your channel, or is content creation just for fun?
I guess, it's all for fun, really. Like, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't enjoy, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's not like there's work to be had, you know, for sure. But like, I'm kind of relaxed about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a point where I felt like, you know, I wanted to like do more work to it, but like, it didn't really like matter too much with like the amount of like people I would actually come like watch, right? So it's just like, you know what, like, you know, I'm just gonna have fun with it. I'm not gonna really worry about like how many people come see it. And the people who do see it and want to play, they're the real ones, right?
Right.
You can't really reward. You can only do so much to grow the channel and grow the community.
Right.
So yeah, like the goal in mind is to like, you know, like spread the word, the gospel of Marvel to people, right? Obviously, right? And like have a just like, you know, like tell people like, hey, like we have like a whole community still around, and if you want to play, you should come play, you know. And people have actually like flocked to it because of those videos.
Right.
But yeah, like, you know, it is mostly for fun at the end of the day. Man. I'm playing this game for fun, you know, like it's not like a job or anything like that, you know. It's not like, you know, my duty.
Right.
You know, like, you know, and now that I'm like, you know, like a working adult and everything, like, you know, I have other responsibilities, so I can't always play as much as I want to. And sometimes, like, even as someone like me who like loves the game so much and is so crazy about the game, even I gotta like, you know, kind of take a breather sometimes, and like I want to do some other stuff.
Okay, let's see here. Too far. That's a throw. And here comes a Dante combo that takes like 5 years. Wait. Well, it doesn't matter. I panicked. I panicked. Sharp. Sucks. Okay. Okay, we're not dead. Not yet. Oh, yeah, missiles. Missiles. That's gonna hit me.
Oops.
That's not gonna hit me. Well, I am trying to do Gamma Wave, and instead I'm getting Heavy Punch. Sucks to be me.
Yeah, still gonna get hit with the missiles though.
Yes. Okay, so let's see here. Ow, my foot. Oh, jeezums, my foot is in just. Oh, yep, rolled right into the death. You know, like I said, there was a time where I remembered some of this stuff, and you know, not playing for a while kind of screws it. Oh my gosh. Yep, got me there. Put me back in the corner.
Yeah, like you know me, I play this game like, you know, all the time, you know.
Right.
So like whenever like someone like, you know, comes and plays me and they're like, you know, oh, like, you know, I forgot everything. I'm like, well, that's a shame, isn't it?
Right.
That's a damn shame.
Right. I mean, yeah, I hear you, man.
I mean, I can't relate, but okay. It'd be somebody who used to play, right? And they'll want to play me because they see me playing. Like, oh, I haven't played this game in ages. And they play me like, oh, man, I forgot everything to do. I'm like, well, sucks to be you. You should have fucking quit, huh?
So let me ask you something. Since you brought that up. How many times have you had people approach you to try to money match you in this game?
Only a couple times. Like, you know, it wouldn't be like, you know, something like randomly, but it'd be something that like, you know, like has like kind of like a, not that there's like any prior beef or anything, but like, you know, maybe like they feel like, oh, they got scorned in a tournament set or something, so like they want to like money match me, and sometimes I'll win, sometimes I'll lose.
Right.
I actually don't even really prefer money matches myself, to be honest,
right.
because I get enough anxiety playing a tournament. You know what I mean?
Right. I hear you.
And having money on the line and everything is just like kind of like, oh, it makes me nervous. I can't play to the best of my abilities.
Right. I hear
But
you,
like,
man.
if people want to do it, like, you know, I don't mind doing, you know, like a small amount. You know, nothing too crazy. Because like I could money match people. I could budget myself to money match people.
Right.
You can do that at tournaments. Oh, it lied to me again. You lag switcher, you.
Yes.
Yeah.
My lag switch is on fleek right now.
But yeah, I could do it, but I also would rather take that money to, like, I don't know, go get some good food or something.
Right.
I don't know, it's just a
Yeah,
preference thing. But you know, like I've done it a couple times.
I can't kill you. Oh right, Firebrand's the next one. Oh darn it. Oh, that feels bad. That also feels bad. This whole thing feels bad. Oh gosh, now I'm panicking again. Well, I guess we'll just do that.
Also, I think people like understand that about me as a person, so they kind of like they don't really go up to me and challenge me or anything like that, you know? They just kind of leave me alone. Well, a lot of times, like it's not really even a challenge. It's just like it's literally like a request, like a gentleman's request. Like, you know,
Right.
I say, good sir, would you want to cover the money match? You know, like.
Right. I got hit. That sucks. We'll just do that then. Yeah. Okay, we finally got rid of him. Hooray. Oh boy. That didn't work. Okay, well, we'll accept those. Okay, that sucks. Can Ghost Rider get buffs, please?
And Ghost Rider's supposed to win against level 1 Frank. Aha.
Alright, let's see. Yep. Just a basic slip under them, get the light in, and
But
dunk
the funny
on
thing
them.
is, I didn't even move at all.
Yeah, you literally just sat there, and I was like, I'm gonna... Nope. I'm gonna... Nah, that's not happening. Okay, so, well, that didn't work either. Okay. You know what's funny? What's funny to me is that it feels like my best character against you is Ghost Rider. The only problem is, well, we can kind of see what the only problem is right now. It's, like, he seems to be the only one that has like some notable options, but it's all good though. Well, you didn't switch sides that time. That time you same sided me. Okay, getting smacked around feels pretty bad. Hulk, thanks for coming. Glad we had this talk. Alright, so now... So you know what happened there is you switched sides on me again, and I actually went for one of my swoops, and instead I got medium, so because it switched up my my input. So I'm like, oh well, all right, we're not dead yet.
Yeah,
We're about to be soon.
Combo.
I'll just do this.
Eee.
Oh gosh, I'm so fast.
Eee.
Oh god, am I dead? No, I'm not. Oh, right. Right. Sucks. Went for super, and I got sniped out of the air. Oh my gosh.
Do you want to get your notes again before I hit rematch?
Oh no, I got it. All right. So, let's see. We did that. We asked that. Do you have a philosophy or rule of thumb when it comes to your content creation?
I haven't really thought about it too much. I guess be transparent is like one thing like I always like kept in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, nice. Cause there'd be times where like I can't even do content creation because due to personal reasons.
Right.
Or like maybe they're slow on something and people will ask me, hey, when's this happening, or like what's going on with these uploads. Like people would ask me personally in my Marvel 3 community, right?
Right.
And I'll tell them like like. I've been busy with stuff like like it's not really like I try to keep an updated schedule like on the uploads, but like sometimes things happen, and like sometimes I don't really have time. Sometimes like I'm just like too tired to do anything about it.
Right.
So like I'm just like yeah like it's coming eventually. Like I'll give him like a set date. Like I'll have it like by this week or something.
Right.
Because again, it's not my job. Like
Right.
I don't really like. I don't want to. Not to sound like mean or anything, but I don't have to do any of this shit.
Right.
But like so I just tell him, hey, I'm gonna like get these content started here, or like get these tournaments started here, like have these uploads on these dates here, and yeah, like or like if I feel like the content is not really up to par, I'll just let people know about it. Like it's not. I'm not trying to lie to people,
Right.
Like I said, it's not my. It's not like my super big obligation for me. But at the same time, I want to be honest with people.
Yeah, it makes sense. Transparency. Yeah, that's actually very important. Don't just go around just beating around the bush and jerking people around.
Yeah, because like, people won't like trust you if you do that, and people won't really like like if you're kind of like like beating around a bush, or like you're just not really communicating with people, then people are gonna like start to like see you as like someone that's not really trustworthy.
Right, and then they'll be less likely to like check you out and such, for lack of a better thingy there. Okay, so even though I'm still getting bodied, I am getting a smidgen better, at least defensively. I mean, it's not saying much. I'm getting caught in the same combo over and over. But as you stated earlier, it's like you have to just block and know where to block and just. Good lord. Like I'm just taking it as a small victory at the moment, because it's like. Let's see here.
Oh, I thought I blocked that.
Right, you're too short. You're too short. That doesn't work.
Now I got something to remember for later.
Buffs for Ghost Rider, please.
Oh, buff this lag switch. Ooh.
Yes, the lag switch is my friend right now. Oh my. Yep, that didn't work. Oof. And level 2 X Factor with Hulk already halfway gone. Out and in. The ultimate shimmy. The ultimate shimmy. Oh gosh. How dare you make me think that I had another turn when clearly I did not. How dare you?
That's the best. That's the best, isn't it? Like when you see that glimmer of hope in their eyes and it just dissipates. Oh, I love that shit. I love doing that shit to people.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a very big sadist when it comes to playing. Right. That's why I play like set play characters. Like, oh, you want to have a turn now?
Right.
I'm sorry, sir. This is a one-player game, actually.
You're just here to spectate. Okay, if I ran, might be dead. That's another thing too. Like, this is one of the few fighting games where characters actually have set health. Like, certain characters have a lot of health, certain characters have very little health. Oh, somehow I managed to get out of that, but I was still stuck.
Oops.
Alright, well.
That should be death. Oh!
We're gonna make sure.
Oh, you did that? Okay. I don't know about all that. Because that'll happen.
Alright.
This game also, like, really teaches you about decision making.
Oh, boy.
So, like, you really wanted to get that kill on 0, but you could have saved your X Factor, actually, because you still had a meter.
Right.
And that was also a bad turn, because... Oh, wow. Because it wasn't safe there.
Right.
So, yeah, like, this game really, like, hammers in decision making. At this point, I'm just gonna, like, start, like, zoning you out, because I don't want to get close and, like, challenge your armor.
Right.
I don't need to call my assist either, and I have like 5 hours on me. Matter of fact, like I don't even have to really do anything. I can just do this. Throw doesn't do anything. See, now I just wait for you. See?
Right. I was trying to do light gamma wave to OTG, but I didn't get it.
What is wrong with my Team Super?
You know what? Let's just get rid of him. Or let's attempt to get rid of him, and instead just die for our troubles. Yep, decision making is very important in many a fighting game, and this one is no different. But the other thing is, just the other part of it, is just learning. Like whereas before it's just been perfect after perfect after perfect, and who knows, maybe you're just screwing with me. I'm not sure, but
now it's like... No, I'm kidding.
No, well, okay.
Oh! My assist button is being weird.
Okay.
Let's see if you can get this one.
That's what that hitbox is like. the noise that it makes. It's like I never thought I'd see the day where it'd just be straight up buttons instead of just like an arcade stick. It's interesting.
Oh yeah, it's very well designed too.
Let's see. You know what doesn't help us win? Not blocking. Oh gosh. Yeah. So that was a neutral medium that hit a whole lot of air. That air, though. That air. Ooh my gosh, so much air.
Yeah, it swallows up like so much of that space.
That's the one thing about Ghost Rider that I don't utilize a lot. That it's his 2M, where he shoulder checks you. That actually has a much bigger hitbox than it looks. But I just don't use it enough. But let me see here. So, what areas in your content do you think could use some improvement?
What areas? Well, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure, what people want to look for in my content all the time, right? Because, sometimes, it's very random sometimes. People want, one day I'll get, 1,000 some views on, one particular videos, and I'm like, oh, you guys like this kind of content, like this kind of clip show kind of thing, right? Okay, so let me, try again with, this video. And then that one would only get, maybe, 50 some views. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on here. I'm not sure, what people are, really into. But because you'll know the amount of regular views you have versus the amount of new people that come in just by the basis of how many views you're gonna get on one video or something like that. For content creation, I want to try to see if I can get some more interactivity going on, some more feedback going on from players. Because like I said, I love my viewers and everything, but sometimes they don't always give the best feedback or not I don't want feedback, but I want to say interactivity. It gets hard for me to just simply get people to respond in chat.
Right.
I don't know if you've heard this before, but apparently there's some kind of taboo about asking your Twitch viewers how they're doing that day or something. The simple how do you do? I'm not sure why that is, but it makes no sense to me. There's some quote unquote rules that are out there for Twitch etiquette that I guess I just don't always follow because it doesn't really apply to me and my viewers, or it just feels stupid to me, right? But yeah, that's one thing I want to improve on is trying to get interactivity from people in chat going. Sometimes I don't know, it's a fighting game thing, right? It might just be a fighting game thing, but people just kind of go in there just to gel out and just not say anything, maybe lurk. But I want people to respond more to what I do, and maybe tell me what kind of content they're really interested in. A lot of content I do nowadays is just hour long sets, hours long sets, weekly streams, weekly lobbies I do, and I post re-upload the VODs. or like I'll do like tournaments and just last for a few hours. But that kind of content lasts for like hours and hours, right? So I wanted to like make like like the clip shows I was talking about, like little like highlights here and there, like tournament highlights, like stream highlights, maybe like compilations. Trying to get a content for that, right? Just leftover content or like content from like past streams. But when I did that, it took a lot more editing and a lot more like work and like knowledge of like how to like make catchy looking titles and thumbnails. And like that takes a lot more work. And like it takes a lot of time out of my day that I could be doing like making actual money or like training or something like that. And when I do like like I usually I try to like like I do like find my content creation to be important, and I do try to work hard at it. But I also have a social life too, so I kind of like I try to have that, and plus my actual work that I do kind of take precedent over like just me simply doing content creation, because I can work on that anytime. And like as I mentioned before, like it's not something that like it's not something that like I'm like hard set to do or like hard scheduled to do by any like mandate. But I want to like make sure like have something for my viewers. But when they like respond differently to like different kind of videos I do, it kind of like leaves me guessing. Like I'll give you an example, right? I used to do like tournament highlights where like like I would go back on my own, like watch the entire tournament that I just hosted, and like look for any like highlights or that might be cool or like might be funny, and like make it like a clip show out of it. And then maybe like I'll look for sound bites and like like videos and memes, just like make it funny and like make it entertaining. And I think like I work hard in those videos, and like it is time consuming, but and then like I make a thumbnail for it, right? But I'll make it like a catchy thumbnail too, like that's thematic or like like has something to do with the video, and I feel like it's like catchy. But those kind of videos like only really garner like maybe like 100 some views like the first week. I think to myself, okay, so what's the issue? What's going on here? Like, why aren't people like watching this? Yeah, and it's not like I don't share it out or anything. So I'm just like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm gonna like upload this really quick set I did with my friend. He plays Deadpool. His name is Dio Branderson. Deadpool and Dio have the same Japanese voice actor. Let me just put a fucking Deadpool space on like Dio real quick. That video got 400 in the first day alone. And it makes me it makes me think, okay, so maybe like I don't have to work as hard as I am for this, because like, and that's kind of like what I realized about content creation is that like the more effort you actually put into something, like the less views it's actually gonna get, like, believe it or not. Like, I don't know, like it feels like you don't like really get like the return that you would want out of it. So my goal is to like try to see like to rectify that, to see like what kind of content people actually want, and that they have to communicate with me. But again, there's also that problem where I mentioned before, where like sometimes I will ask my fans directly, and like, or my viewers directly. I don't want to call it fans, but like like I feel like it's kind of like a I don't know, like conceited, but like I guess like they kind of are. But like my viewers, right? I'll ask them like specifically, hey, like what kind of content do you want to see, And then they don't respond in kind with like the views, right? And so it's just like maybe I can't really trust like a lot of people's word on what they want. So it's difficult. So I guess like to roll back to like that question that you originally asked, what I can improve upon is I don't know, trying to like find more bite-sized content, like something that's digestible for people. I'm trying to see what I can do about that.
Right. Because people, when it comes to the viewership, they can be very fickle when they want to be, and a lot of times, and especially with what your content mostly, what it mostly contains, so you have to make adjustments pertaining to what it is that you're giving them. So because like basically,
go ahead.
Yeah, because basically like. Like, yeah, you're trying to push Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3. You are very passionate about it. However, doing a stream that's like maybe 10, 12, 24 hours long might not be the best approach.
Yeah, so like I'll like put up like like VODs of like us playing, and
Mm-hmm.
people do like those,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to see if we can get more people to come in and like watch like something a little shorter,
Mm-hmm.
um, and so that's why I do those like highlight reels, right? But like it doesn't really catch on like you want it to. It caught on the first time and then never did after that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what it is. I low key think maybe just people just only want to see low tiers because like the ones that do get the most views are like anything focusing on low tiers. Like the first one was about Jill Valentine, and
Right.
that's in the like the one recently I had an Iron Fist only tournament, and
Right.
people kind of flocked to that. So another thing that like I want to bring up real quick, right, is like
Right.
yeah, I want to attract people, but I it's not that I don't want to attract like like a very specific kind of person, right, or a specific kind of like viewer, because
Mm-hmm.
like you want to attract everybody. But I have a feeling that like sometimes the people that are like kind of watching it aren't watching it for like the reasons that I would want them to, or like I not that I would want them to, because like they can watch like whatever they want, but like or how I feel about the content however they want, but like maybe like maybe their interests for the game don't really line up with like mine or anything like that, or like what I would hope to be. Like I want them to really get into the game,
Right.
but like maybe they're just only there to see like oh an Iron Fist or a Phoenix Wright or something.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
just like like I hate to like kind of like call them this, but like a lot of like casual people like just kind of watch it just for that sake,
Right.
and it's just like I am glad you enjoy the game and like enjoy watching it, but like there's more to the game than just like your favorite character. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
yeah, I have my favorite characters too, and I like seeing like a Phoenix Wright or like an Iron Fist go off sometimes, right? But there's so many other like good players out there, and so much more to the game than just like watching Phoenix Wright or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it used to be really bad, where like people would come into the Discord like almost every day, and the first thing they would ask is, "What's a good team for Phoenix Wright?" Is like there is a good team for Phoenix Wright, you know. And it got to the point where like, we had to like make like a thread to link back to
Mm-hmm.
for people who always ask that question. In fact, we actually make it a rule too. Like try not to ask about like a specific character like right away, because like there are resources there for you to look at.
Mm-hmm.
We even have a timer, a 10-minute timer for new people to come in, so they can actually read the rules first before they say anything. Like
Right.
I'm gonna tell you now, like if people come in the Discord, wait 10 minutes, and the first thing they ask is like, "Oh, where's the Marvel Infinite Discord, or where's the Marvel 2 Discord?" They get immediately banned because like
Right. You have the stuff there for them to like, to know to not ask that sort of stuff because.
yeah, because like I mean, it's okay to ask for like a server link to another server, but like when it's the first thing you ask, like in a Marvel 3 Discord, I feel like that's rude, and so like, I don't know, like I feel like that's disingenuous to like why you're here in the first place.
Right.
So just like I don't want you to waste my time,
Right. Because, it says Ultimate Marvel's UMVC 3 Discord, and you're asking about freaking. And you're asking about Marvel Infinite. Dude, did you not read the. Did you not read the banner?
They definitely didn't. They definitely didn't like read like the rules of the banner, because like like that's the first thing you're gonna like do to get a go once you're like able to like talk in the Discord. Like I don't know, maybe you don't need to be in the Discord, so
Right. Well,
go find the other one that you want. Don't ask us. But yeah, like, and that's the kind of like examples like that are like kind of like what I kind of worry about when I attract like viewers. Like maybe I will attract a lot of viewers, but how many of them are actually gonna like be about the game like that? How many of them are like really like here for genuine reasons?
Right.
Maybe that's just me being worried about like too much, but I'd rather have like people who are genuinely interested in the game rather than just be like just there to watch like a Phoenix Wright or something like that, or
Right.
Iron Fist.
Yeah, because and I do think that stems from like what Marvel 2, because that the low tier tournaments and whatnot, so they want to see like something similar with Ultimate Marvel 3, and in my personal opinion, like I don't really feel that that's really necessary because. Even though there are tier characters in Marvel 3, it is possible to win with the other characters. Unlike Marvel 2, where it's like, because, and the reason why I say that is because like we look like the main squad on Marvel 3, and you can correct me if I'm mistaken, was what, Sentinel, Magneto, and Doctor Doom or something like that.
You mean Marvel 3? I mean, like, top tier characters are like Zero, Virgil, Morrigan, Magneto, Doctor Doom. Combination of those characters.
Right.
Like, you have Dante on your team for that support. Maybe a Doctor Strange here or there.
Right.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of like high tier stuff like Noah, Spencer. Like,
right.
It's a lot of like high to top tier teams, and a lot of mid tier teams that could compete too.
Yeah, because like
there's a lot more variety. I feel like.
Right, and also like, and that's the thing. That's why I like Marvel 3 more so than 2, because like when Marvel 2, if you looked at a competitive scene, the teams were almost basically exactly the same. Whereas in Marvel 3, I've seen a top 8 where somebody had MODOK on their team. I've seen Team Big Bodies win the big one. Freaking Sentinel, Hager, and Hulk. Like, they won the big one. It was like, holy crap. And, like, people thought that it was just going to be a wash. But no. Kane Blue River said, hey, hold my beer. And like...
That's a testament on Nico's part. Shout out to Nico.
Yeah, it's like that's why I enjoy this more so than 2. Because it's like, yeah, it still has the dirt factor that's in it, but you can actually, it's not a matter of the character just being obsolete and just unplayable, right? It's more so just this game. It's literally just some characters just have better tools than others, or some characters.
And also like for a lot of characters, like like all 3 of your characters actually can belong on a very competitive team. You just happen to be like for you, for example, right?
Yeah.
Specifically, you just happen to like play them like you're playing a team of all like point characters, but like all of them could like belong on a competitive team that you're not playing. You could have like 3 different teams, but decide to you decide to have like all the point characters on one team. So
right.
so like it's not so much like in this game. I don't think I don't think the problem is you can't play anybody. I mean, like, some characters are really hard, actually, don't get me wrong.
Yes,
but,
Jill. Freaking Jill. Good
Lord. Jill is, like, definitely, like way low there. I think she's worse than Ghost Rider, personally. Right. But like, all these characters, like, you can definitely make a good team with. But you need to do your research and make that good team. And sometimes it's really hard to, like, get in the heads of, like, new players. Like, the people who I was talking about, to watch the videos, get into it from there, and then say, "Hey, I want to play like this team that you're playing right now, Michael, right?" And I would tell them, right. I would tell them, but okay, but like each of these each of these characters have a better team that I would suggest for you to play, and they'd be like, they would either be like, okay, or they would be like, oh, but I'm gonna try playing this one, and then they won't have a good time because, like, well, on a competitive level, you're not really like optimizing yourself properly,
right.
So you can play whatever you want, but
so you know what? But I'm a test your theory real quick. So we're gonna try something. So let's say instead.
So like, okay, let me give you an example, right? For like one of your characters, like that you were just playing, one of those characters.
Hold that thought for just 1 second. Pepperjack1986, thank you for your resubscription. 39 months, thank you. You are loved and appreciated.
Ooh, 39 months. Ooh, what a homie.
Yeah, but you were saying.
So like that team you were just playing earlier, right?
Yes.
We'll make this like an experiment, right?
Okay.
One of those things you were playing, one of those characters. If you pick one of those characters, like which one is the one you like the most?
In general or against you?
In general.
In general, I guess it would be Hulk.
Hulk. Okay, so I already have like 2 characters for you to play. Right?
Okay, so I'm gonna pick Hulk.
Hulk, right? You were just saying that like Kane Blue River won Evil, the big one, right?
Right.
And he did win the big one with like not a top tier character, right? Like it's not a top tier team, right?
Right.
But how did he win? Like, what was his strategy? And, like, what makes his strategy? This is very basic, too. It's not even, like, that high level, but it's very basic, right?
Okay.
You see, like, when you watch top players play, right? You see how they're playing their character with what teams.
Right.
And you see the strengths they're giving each other. So I highly, highly, highly recommend when you play Hulk, you have a Sentinel on your team, right?
Okay, so let's say I guess we'll
Gamma
go
Wave is probably the best one.
Gamma Wave. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's go Gamma Wave, and then you said
Yeah.
Sentinel.
Sentinel, always drones. Always drones. Don't even pick anything else. Always drones.
Gotcha.
I know Tong likes to play Rocket Punch. Don't do what Tong does.
Okay, so Sentinel Force Charge. Okay.
Okay, now here, like, okay, so I mean, like, this is something like like you have to experiment with and everything, right? Like finding these teams. But I'm just since the game is like been established for a long time now, I'm giving you a cheat sheet. That's why I'm telling you this stuff, right?
Okay.
So a lot of Hulk teams are very successful with Sentinel, right?
Right.
Because drones and Gamma Charge is really good for lockdown. That's why you would do that. Now, third character, right?
Okay.
So there's a couple that could work for this, right? Shimagora like has a good beam assist and it helps him pick up from the ground, but Shimagora is probably too hard for you, right?
Yeah, so, it's a bit of a learning curve, yeah.
But you know who is easy to play, right? Hager with his like just jump forward and pipe. You just jump forward and pipe. You might still run to hard matches like Zero, but at least all you gotta think about is like jump forward and pipe, right?
Right.
And what does he have? He has Lariat assist. Now Lariat is so good because for Hulk especially, right?
Right.
What do I have to do against Hulk? I have to keep him away for so long, right? And if I get impatient and try to get a hit or like try to come from the ground, if I'm already up in the ground trying to like escape you,
right?
And I'm trying to approach from the air, right? To hit you, you can call Lariat. That's a good defensive assist. It's very good for defense.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And people like can't just rush in on you, right?
Right.
Now you have that as a fear factor. So you call that. And if you get the hit, boom, standing heavy, and then you get whatever combo. Okay. The combos and everything, don't even worry about that so much. I just want you to play the neutral with this team, right? So
okay, lariat, so let's go double lariat then.
Okay, so now you were already playing your Firebrand Hulk Ghost Rider team, right?
Right.
Now, try playing this and see where this gets you, right?
Okay. All right, well, let's see. Let's see how... All right, Sensei, let's see how this works out. Okay. Oops.
I'm gonna approach you like a dumbass, right? I'm gonna approach you like a dumbass, and you want to call Lariat.
Okay, I got you.
Look at that! Look at that! You see? You see?
Right.
Let's say I'm a dumbass. I'm hitting you in the air like that, right? You can like call Lariat and hit me out of that.
Okay.
See, there we go. Now you call drones. You don't want me to just come in for free, right?
Right.
You want to call drones and like lock me down. That way, like you got a mix up going.
Okay. So I just gotta remember to, if I have assist up, I need to call drones.
Yeah. Yeah, your goal is to push me to the corner like what you're doing right now. Actually, see, already, like even when you don't know what you're like doing too much, right? You just holding forward, gamma charging, and like calling drones pushes me to the corner. That's really good for you. See right there, you already got like a good mix-up going right there.
Oh, okay.
And that's just from you not really knowing too much, right?
Right.
So imagine if you knew it more. See, look at it. You could have gotten a conversion there.
Okay.
So let's say I'm a dumbass, right? I'm gonna teleport you. You know I'm gonna teleport you, right? Like that? Like that? Look at that! You see? You see how good that is? Isn't this a lot easier? You can play whatever you want in this game, right? But isn't that a lot easier? Isn't that giving you more success? Right?
Right.
See, now I gotta back off because I'm afraid like you're gonna call Lariat. Look at that! Now I can't press anything, and now you're gonna grab me. See that? There you go. You're getting a lot of damage now.
Okay.
See, I didn't let you come in for free. That's why I called the assist.
Right.
So, like, I'm pretending I'm playing KBR right now, right? And like, he has like a Sentinel assist, right? I don't want him to like call drones to, like get mix-ups going. Now against Hager, I don't even go for the incoming because he's gonna like come in with a Lariat, right? And he could like hit me out of it.
Right.
So that's why I just kind of play keep away. At this point, like it is hard for you. Like you probably like lost if you like at Anchor Hager.
Right.
But that's because that's okay though. You have to accept that weakness because the team is very, very, very front loaded.
Okay.
So in this game, like there's like front loaded teams and back ended teams. Some teams are good in the mid game.
I might have had to make some adjustments, and that's why there's no game sound. But it's all good because we're just talking. So
yeah.
Please continue.
So like this kind of team, right? is very front loaded. You're not going to have a really great comeback plan, you know, but you have to accept that about your team because all all your strength is on your front. On your front. That's why a team like this, you would spend X Factor mad early sometimes. Like, let's say you're fighting my zero, right? And I'm like zoning you on everything. Oh, I'm gonna chip you out, right? Then you get one throw. The only thing Hulk can do off a throw is like Gamma Wave and X Factor to pick up. But you want to do that because you want to get that momentum swing on your favor.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
So comparing, like, I know this wouldn't be like your team that you normally play. But like I said, disclaimer: anybody can play whatever they want.
Right.
But you know how easier that was, right? How much better that felt, right?
I did notice that being able to have Sentinel assist to actually keep you from jumping everywhere definitely helped with my approach. Like,
exactly right. So that's the kind of like strategy you got to think about, like in this game. It's the same thing in Dragon Ball, I'm sure, right? Like when you're playing Dragon Ball, like what works best for your character, who builds the most meter, you know, who's like your best friend, like, you know, etc. You know, that kind of thing, right? And that's what I want to kind of like, you know, teach people in this game is like you need to come in with a good strategy in mind. And sometimes picking when you pick random all, you don't really have a strategy.
Right, you just have random all.
And that's not to say that you can't play who you want. You can, but you need to have a strategy with it. Otherwise, you're gonna get beat up, and you're not gonna know what to do, and you're gonna get frustrated. Well, yeah, no shit, because you didn't come up with a strategy.
Right. Well, that does make sense. All right, so we'll try again. This time you don't have to play dumb. This time you can just kind of go ham.
Well, this matchup I don't want to go ham because like I just want to stay back here like this. Right now, I'm playing Shoto versus Grappler. This is Shoto versus Grappler. See, you actually like got in like pretty well already, cause like you know, all cause you called drones, and I gotta like you know watch out for drones. See, like the way that you just got in because of drones, it's amazing, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it seemed pretty solid, like. Whereas before I kind of had to struggle to get in, whereas this time I actually could just get in.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Now I'm just playing the matchup right now, so.
Yeah, I gotcha. Whoops, that was.
Oops, lag switch again.
Yep, lag switching is my superpower. Now it's just a matter of oh, right. I can't wave dash. I don't know how to do it. Well, I do. I'm just not very efficient at it.
It's just dash and like down. Even I'm doing it right now actually because I can't blink with zero because I'm holding a button.
Oh, that's right. I can't tag if an assist is out.
So yeah, this ain't Dragon Ball. You can't do that.
Because see, the interesting thing about this now is just like I have the basic idea. Now I just have to learn how to play the character.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna hit. Oh well. Ow. Okay. Whoops. Whoopsie. Okay, did not get anything off of that. That was supposed to be whatever the air super was. Never thought I'd see the day where I'd be playing Sentinel, even though I'm technically not playing Sentinel, because Sentinel's just kind of dying right now. Because right now it's like, yeah, I can see what you mean by the synergies and being able to improve upon the characters whose weaknesses are made up for by the strengths of the assists. Because now the only thing now is just I have to learn the other characters, so that way I'm not just once Hulk dies I'm basically a sitting duck, right?
Yeah, and like you know, like Sentinel and Hager are pretty easy to play, so you'll get the swing of things. But even if you don't like Sentinel, like you said, you never thought you would play Sentinel. If you're like really into Sentinel, you can always like you know take like a piece of the puzzle, a piece of your team.
Uh-huh.
Each member is a component of your team. It makes one. You gotta think of like the team as like one whole character. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like and each character is made of components,
Mm.
right? So if you want to like try to swap Sentinel out for like another character, you could try doing that and see if you like that better. If you personally like that better,
Well,
but
what I was thinking was maybe keep Sentinel in.
okay.
We'll keep Sentinel in. I guess we'll stick with Gamma Wave for now. Then we go drones, and hmm. So if we're gonna go down Lariat,
Like like you can kind of like switch out like one character and like put one in. You want to do it one at a time, right? So you switch
right?
out one character, put one in, see if you like that better. Maybe you jive with that better personally. Okay, Tatsu, all right. Okay, maybe for this team, right? Maybe you want that Tatsu for your like lockdown, right? Maybe you
Mm-hmm.
want to like in this particular matchup, like you think to yourself, like if you're a higher level player, you're thinking to yourself, okay, maybe I want that to counter the Red Buster when he calls that. Maybe I
Right.
want to have like a solo character to like use for X Predator 3. So
Right.
maybe you have see like personally I don't think this is like the best team for him, but
Right.
maybe you're formulating your own strategy. So as long
Right.
as you're formulating your own strategy, like yeah, that's you can like like do whatever.
Right. Okay.
It's just a matter of like knowing the game, knowing your character's options and what they bring to the table. Maybe you're the type of person who needs to have an anchor, or really wants to have an anchor, wants to have like someone that can like like solo like the team.
Mm-hmm.
And like Akula with Bar, he can definitely do that because he plays really well solo. Maybe you want that, you know.
Let's see. Right. I can't mash out this. I just have to hope that you drop it. Which is like the worst is the worst realization you have to come to when in these types of games.
Yeah.
I hope they drop the combo. Oh wait, what am I waiting on? Oh gosh. Okay, so then Sentinel just kind of dies here because he's fat.
Oh.
Oh, yep. Hmm. Okay, down he goes. Oh, whoops! I forgot Hulk was the last one. hmm. Okay, but I get it though. Let me try one more before I make it. Well, no, it's fine. All right. So let's see here. Let's see. You're over here mentoring me and whatnot and such. Let me hit you with this other question that I have. So do you have any big projects or events for the future, or for the viewers rather, to look forward to?
Okay. Well, funny you say that because like all of 2020, I've been just focusing on like my focus has been on like the Discord and like streams based off the Discord, like running like Marvel tournaments like every bye week, beginners tournaments, monthly tournaments that I have with my team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe some other and again like like content creation, like trying to see what people want. Maybe I ask people, hey, do you want like an EX tournament? Do you want like a Iron Fist only tournaments, shit like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe I do like little special tournaments here and there. Sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't work out. So I kind of cut some projects and I continue on with some projects.
Mm-hmm.
You catch his fire. Now, starting next month, actually, right? And in a couple, like actually tomorrow, right? This is next month, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Or yeah.
I want to try like now that offline is coming back and
Mm-hmm.
like people are like slowly starting to come back. We got like local events going on again. I'm trying to like get like a. I'm kind of going back to my roots of like getting the local community involved. Maybe like the East Coast community too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they can come out to like events that I talk to other like TOs about in the area,
Mm-hmm.
like say like a Xanadu or the cave or something like that. Even I've even been talking to Matt, like in
Right.
Baltimore. and I've been asking about, hey, like when can I run like Marvel 3 events? I would like to do a side event, maybe get a stream going, and then like once I get like that planned out, I'll have like some weeks to like tell people, hey, like I'm doing this. This week you should like drive by here, whatever, like from like New York or something like that, or like from Richmond, because I know you guys are up here, so hopefully it'll give you enough time to come out here and to this event. And then meanwhile we do that, I'm going to stream for everybody else, and then that's going to be something for the channel as well. So I'm back to doing like more offline stuff. And like next month we actually are at the end of our like monthly series, right? So I'm trying to like see if I can do it for next month, but next month is kind of tricky too because there's actually a lot of offline Marvel events from other places going on, like TNS Chicago and like Summer Jam. So either next month or September, we're gonna try to like get like the top 8 placers for the ranking of our like monthly tournaments, and like a mini qualifiers kind of tournament, right? So we're doing like a little special event like that probably. So yeah, there's gonna be like more offline events that are gonna come back in my channel.
Well, that's good. Are they gonna be over at Xanadu?
They could be Xanadu. They could be Cave. It could be anywhere that I can like do an offline event on, or not even an event. Sometimes like a lot of I've already like, uploaded like house sessions.
Oh, nice.
Like yeah, so like even like something small like that. Because like like I said, I'm going back to my roots, like recording every kind of match that I play. But except it's offline. I've been streaming at the Cave again anyway. So like I've been streaming at the Cave, but like I don't want to go back to like just uploading like whole VODs of me playing with somebody for like a first of 10, and then like they go off somewhere, and then like I have like all this footage of me like not playing anybody. So I want to see if I can tailor that footage a little bit better. That's also one of my goals, trying to tailor my footage a little bit better for other people. Like I said earlier, make it digestible.
Right. Makes sense. I was trying to throw you, but just like with you earlier, you were too far. So that should be game. Yeah, that's game. Okay. But yeah, like, well, all right. Yeah, you. Once offline events start coming back, yeah, it's gonna be pretty awesome. I wouldn't mind hitting up Xanadu once again. Even though the last time I was there, I freaking drowned out in pools in a Tekken tournament, but it's still fine though. Like,
yeah, they opened up like the ballroom in the back, so like there's a lot more space now. And it's one of the reasons why I consider like going there for like my events.
Sentinel's dead.
Oh my god, I messed up.
I forgot how to DHC into my other character.
Yeah, see, in that situation, right?
Or can you even do that in this game? I forgot. Do you have to DHC in order of your team, or?
Oh, you have to DHC in order of your team, yes.
Ah, okay, yeah. So I wouldn't have been able to do that. That's more of that.
Yeah, Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball FighterZ, man.
Yeah, but Dragon Ball, like it has a lot of like supers that don't really like do anything neutral, right? It's only for damage. So like in this game, there's a lot of like supers that like control neutral. So that'd be kind of broken for this game.
Right. We.
Oh, oops.
Well, it didn't matter. I didn't time it. Ugh. Oh, I'm out of juice. Right when I decided to go on the offense. Yorp. Wee. Bop, 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 bop. Boom. Take a photo. Hit me with a bottle of orange juice and a bunch of other, janitorial supplies. Dante comes in for the pose. And boops my goops. Boops my goops.
All the goofs have been booped.
Alright. We die at 45. And by 45, I mean your 45th win. Okay. Oh god, I'm so bad at the game. Can't hit confirm to save my life.
That's okay, I'm bad at this game too.
Lag switch, don't fail me now. Lag switch, you have failed me. I'm so glad I could joke about that. By the way, if those of you guys that are wondering, um, the connection on Parsec, because of the nature of how it works, is like really, really good. Like, other than the small little lag spikes that we've been having periodically, like it's felt really good to play on like on this format.
Yeah, like the game, the parsec really like kind of like helped save the game basically. Like I was actually very very like nervous that like after like the pandemic hit, like you know there was gonna be a lot of Marvel activity, but
Right.
actually in a very like sad and like way, like it actually kind of helped with it because people found out like how to do like cloud parsec streaming.
Right.
So I don't want to say like, oh, COVID was a good thing for us, but like, it did kind of like get us off our keisters on
Mm-hmm.
like trying to get like Netflix going for this game.
So I do have one other question though, because I know I'm seeing how very beneficial and good Parsec it is, but there's a lot of negative feedback towards Parsec. Can you put some clarification on that?
Sometimes, depending on your area or like the kind of people that you're playing, um, it doesn't always like help out as much for that person. Like unfortunately, some people's connections are like still too spotty,
Mm-hmm.
because it's mostly due to downslope speed.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes and like parsec like. Parsec really helped with the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like it's been insurmountable for the game, but it's definitely not perfect. I
Right.
always tout about like how I want like people to join the Parsec tournaments and everything. I encourage like activity for it, but in an almost hypocritical sense, I also like don't care to enter them myself
Right.
because like I've been playing like this game offline in tournaments like for a long time, so I know what like the true experience is like, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like for those who aren't like who don't have as much experience, it's good for them, right? But the thing about that is like because of the nature of parsec, sometimes like even today we just had like a couple lag spikes. It's not always going to be perfect.
Right.
Sometimes it's going to be slowed down. It also depends on like the person like who's actually making the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like some people just like don't really care for it, and like I think that's valid because like especially for tournaments, yeah, it can be kind of like inconsistent sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's still far and away better than regular netcode. Don't ever let me catch you saying that it's not.
Oh no,
But
I'll never say that. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I'm a believer. Just because I'm getting washed right now, like, yo, like I said, this is the only game. The only game I've ever played that felt this good was when I was playing Killer Instinct on PC. Like, and
Oh yeah, that's a great compliment because like like that's a rollback, and this is definitely not as good as rollback. It's not rollback, but it's the best we got, and it's definitely like done wonders for the community.
right.
Um, I think I'm actually trying to like semi push this game onto other games like other games with like delay based netcode like Under Nine or Grand Blue Versus,
Uh huh.
but you know that's what me talking about people complaining about Parsec. That's within the Marvel community,
Right.
but at least the Marvel community they know that like this is the best we've got,
Right.
and like they don't really like like they know that like this is the best we got, right? And so like like they just kind of like either don't play on online on Parsec, or they just like just like kind of like make do with it and like stick with the connections that are best for them, right? Because
Right.
like it's gonna be like within their region and everything. Anime players, I don't know, man. Like I kind of like I had like bad experiences with like trying to get like Under Night people and like Grand Blue, not Grand Blue people, like um like even Dengeki people, like although like now they have rollback too, right? But they're lucky because they got rollback for their game they modded in. But like not every game can be like that fortunate, right?
Right.
So it's like good for you if you get rollback in your game, but if you don't, then like maybe Parsec is a good option for you.
Mm-hmm.
But some people like, especially in the anime community, they don't really want to do that because I don't know, there's a stubbornness to it, right? Like they kind of act like
Mm-hmm.
their shit don't stink when it comes to netcode. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know why it is, but because I've definitely heard people from the undernet community, for in specific, right? say that like, oh, the delay-based netcode is not so bad, and it's just like, listen, like if you don't want to like try Parsec or you tried Parsec before you didn't have a good experience, like that's fine with me. But don't lie to me. Don't lie to my face like that. don't lie to my face like that and say.
Woo, lag spike. Let's go. Oh, lag switch, you have failed me again. No, lag switch, you're supposed to be my ally.
Oh, too bad. You didn't switch hard enough.
I guess not. I gotta work on my lag switch skills. So
also, like, you know, people like they'll tend to be salty too. There's like a pride thing or ego thing, or like, oh, you know, like, oh, like I can't believe I entered this like tournament where I get like 50 MS, and I'm so surprised that I can't like, you know, fight this character in 50 MS. Like, yeah, but you chose to fight in those stipulations. So my philosophy is like, I think like Parsec is good for like, you know, playing against people you almost never get to see in like, you know, a practice session. I think it's the best for that. You can play a tournament for it for sure, and I encourage that. But I also don't think that like, you know, it's the best for that. You know, like you're definitely gonna like get mad because like, you know, some Parsec stuff happens. You know, maybe some like last switching stuff happens from the other player, and it's just like, you know. Yeah, like no shit, because like you enter in those like, you know, like stipulations.
Right.
Still, I think it's like way better than netcode for sure. It's definitely way better than what we had before. At least people are playing online now.
Right. Okay.
I wanted to like avoid that.
Okay. Oh, whoops, that was same side.
You were not paying attention.
Well, I don't know how to get away from that.
You just dash out of it.
Dash out of it? What do you mean?
Yeah. Air dash out of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so in that regard, I did do the input for air dash. I just did it late. And now I am dead.
Ah!
Well,
I wanted to be cool.
Yeah, of course you wanted to be cool.
Yeah. That's what this game does. It makes me want to be cool.
Alright, so let's see here. 3 more chances. 3 more chances. And we're off to an extremely bad start already. Ooh, Boo, 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 boo. We're getting beat up. Funnily enough, I got the McAgee3 Meetup for next month.
Nice.
The guest actually wants to play this. So,
nice.
So this is actually good because I'll get to see. I'll try to put the stuff that you had suggested into practice, and see, you know, see how I do. I know the biggest thing right now is like if I am gonna run this shell, I gotta learn how to use Sentinel. I honestly do not know how to use him. It's literally just, all right, so he's in play. He's going to die. I know he has armor on certain moves, but yeah.
He uses normals at like long ranges and do a lot of fly cancels.
All the things. Okay. Oh, and to answer your question, Pepperjack, it's not because of fear of copyright. It's just I don't think I adjusted the sound correctly, but it's perfectly fine because we're just talking to EMP Obama. That's really the whole point of the stream anyway. As long as we can actually see what's going on, that's what matters. Getting bopped some more. Sweet Mother McCree. 'Tis a lot. 'Tis quite a whole lot. And we hit by that.
Any more in your notes while I'm comboing?
I actually did do my last question already. We're just trying to. We're just messing around at this point. We suplex a Sentinel. Ooh, right, your hits do like a million. Frank West, he's only so at level 1, but oh gosh, and of course I panic. Okay, we. He's only so at level 1, but once he gets to level 5, he's like one of the best characters in the game. That's the one thing I do remember. And we're dead.
So the reason why I didn't let that super hit and just go straight into level 3 is because I wanted to look cool, and so I did that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I did that.
Okay. We will accept those. Aiming for my toes. Okay, so you got this. Got to pay attention to what's going on. Probably D8, probably alpha countering into Hyper Sentinel Force. Probably not the best option to go off of. Especially with Sentinel having way less health. Sentinel is still alive. Sentinel is no longer alive. Okay, Hulk is basically dead here. Oh, got me out of it at least. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. You have assists. I don't know why. For some odd reason, it seemed like I couldn't call assists in the air, but you definitely can.
You can't call it during super jump.
Oh, I see. See, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that at all. Okay.
Yeah, although you can like go in super jump height, like
right.
For example, you fly and then you go all the way up to super jump height. You can call, or like if you super jump and something hits you in the air as you super jump, your air axis reset and you can still call it.
Oh, I see. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one for realsies this time.
For realsies? Okay.
Yeah, for realsies this time. I just like playing. That's all. Ouch. And this one's about to be a really short one. That's definitely a happy birthday. Sentinel's not long for this world. It's looking kind of bad. Yep. Nope. Okay, then he does that. And then... Okay. But I think you've hit me with that cross up 100% of the time today. Okay, and then we get bopped around. Okay, well, we avoided the perfect. Small victories. Small victories, man. Small victories.
Ah, try to get you with that.
Okay.
There it is.
I used to know that combo, and I mean, once again, it boils down to, you are extremely good at this game. I need to hit the lab. But
I'm okay.
All that aside, though, I greatly appreciate you coming by and being a part of the channel.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me, by the way.
Absolutely.
It.
Did you have a good time?
Oh no, I always have a good time when I play Marvel. So, so like that's the default.
Okay, cool. So are there any other socials that the audience can find you in, or is the stuff on screen basically it?
I mean, if you haven't had it on screen, yeah, my Twitter is @EMP. all capital letters _Obama. You can find my YouTube channel on the marvelous EMP Obama, right? Just type down EMP Obama or EMP _Obama UMBC3 on YouTube. You should be able to find it. It's a picture of a Virgil profile pic. Yeah, and don't forget to join the UMPC3 Discord if you're ever interested in playing. Whether you want to get involved with the game some more, or you just want to hit buttons. We're always playing casuals on Monday. Every Monday from 9:30 to whenever I forget if I feel like sleeping. My East Coast cloud. I also run beginners tournaments and bi-weekly events. We're gonna do another bi-weekly. Not obviously not today, but next week I'm probably gonna start one up again.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're ever interested in joining the Discord and joining our events, don't forget to join if you're ever interested in playing the game. And yeah, that's about it for our socials.
Right. And also, in case you guys haven't figured already, he also has a Twitch channel. It's EMP _Obama, right? Or is it something different?
Yeah, obviously the Twitch channel too,
Right. So
it's EMP _Obama _.
Underscore again. So yeah. So basically, it's basically the Twitter handle, but add an underscore at the very end of it, and you can find his Twitch, where you can find more Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3 action there as well. Once again, don't forget to check out his Discord channel if you're trying to get some games. Maybe you're interested in the game. And you want to try it out. Maybe it's been a while since you played the game, and you want to see if you can kind of dabble back into it again. He, as you guys can see, he's really good at giving advice and giving pointers on how to approach playing the game, how to approach putting a team together, team synergies, basic fighting game strategies, etc. So, yeah. So that is EMP Obama, you guys. I stream every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, USA. Tuesdays is Art Tuesdays. Fridays is TGI McAgee3, where we do adventure games. Saturdays is Saturday Sluggers, where we do fighting games. If you like what you saw, give your man a follow. If you love what you saw, give your man a sub. But either way, let folks know that McAgee3 is out here putting quality content for each and every one of you. As for myself, socials, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and DeviantArt at McAgee3. I also have a YouTube channel called McAgee3 Productions. It's where I do my off-stream grind, casual crashes, and McAgee3 Minute series. If that's something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel to get up to date on all the content that comes up there. I am also an artist. I do emotes, sub badges, avatars, and banners, but currently I'm working on my original comic book, Blue Ninja, The Story of Nevaeh, which you can find on the DeviantArt page, deviantart.com/McAgee3. Episodes 1 through 4 are already available for your reading pleasure, and between now and the end of August, all my streams, I'll be working on episode 5, because we want to get it done before September, so sweet. So, once again, EMP Obama, thank you very much for stopping in.
No problem. I'm happy to be here, man.
Thank you. I'm glad we were get you here, and I'm glad everything worked out in terms of tech and whatnot. But all that aside, in terms of this coming week, we're back to working on the comic book on Tuesday. Friday, we're working on the comic book again. Saturday, we are, you guessed it, working on the comic book again. However, I do have my August McAgee3 Meetup guest lined up, and I will post on social media as we get closer for that. But for now, thank you one and all for spending your precious time with EMP Obama and myself, McAgee3. You all spending your time with us lets us know that our content is worth your precious time, and your time is exactly that. It's very precious to us, so thank you very much. I will see you guys on Tuesday for another edition of Art Tuesday. If I don't see you on Tuesday, I will see you on Friday for another edition of TGI McAgee3. And if for whatever reason I don't see you on Friday, I will see you next week for another edition of Saturday Sketchers, because we're drawing. So, you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Have a wonderful, wonderful remainder of the weekend. And in regards to what's going on in the world right now, I will once again leave you all with this. It is always darkest before dawn. You all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye!
Hey, peace out.